Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic Queensland morning. Welcome to Marinas19. We're going to commence proceedings with Welcome to Country, and I'd like to welcome to the stage Luther Cora.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Luther Cora. My family is the Bungari family, and we are traditional people from the Gold Coast area, which is the Yugambeh language group. And the Yugambeh language group goes from the Tweed River in the south to the Logan River in the north, and out just over the mountains to the Bow Desert area. And in our language for welcome, we say Jingari. So I'm just going to start off with a song just to pay respects to my ancestors and the land which we're on today. Aya Bungari, aya Yagame, aya Bungari, aya, Ali Bungari, Ali Yagame, aya Bungari, aya, So I'd like to pay respects to my elders past and present. I'd also like to pay respects to you guys and your families and your ancestors, no matter where you come from. So in our language, like I said, for welcome we say Jingari. So I'd like to welcome in my language, Buku Bujara, Jingari Jimbalang, Jingari Wala Wala Yugombe Dagan. I'd like to sing a song now to welcome you onto this country. Jingari Wala Wala Yugombe Dagan, Nanimala Nyamayami, Jingari Jimbalang. Jingari Wala Wala, Yakame Dagan, 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 Jingari Wala Wala, Yakame Dagan. Yo! Yahoo! Yahoo! Jingari, welcome. So I'd like to thank the organisers for acknowledging the traditional people of this area which we stand today, and for acknowledging additional Indigenous people here in Australia, especially during this week. It's the start of National Reconciliation Week, which is a very important week for Australia as a whole. So I want to play a little bit of didgeridoo just to bless the day, bless each everyone you're here, and maybe wake a few of you guys up as well. So it is an honour and a blessing for me to be here this morning on behalf of my family. So once again, I'd like to welcome you here. I'd like to thank the organisers. And for those of you who are Australian, this culture, the history, the songs and stories, it all belongs to this land. So it belongs to all of you guys as well. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you very much, Luther. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I add my welcome to that of Luther, to Marinas19. On behalf of the MIA Board and the organising committee that's been chaired again this year by Mike Harvey, it is a great pleasure to have you all here this year for Marinas19. We have delegates, speakers and exhibitors from across the globe, and it truly is an international event. An event that's grown over the hard work that's been done over many years to be the premier marina industry conference and trade show in the Asia-Pacific region. Without our sponsors and partners, we would not be here today. May I acknowledge in particular our long-standing platinum sponsor, Bellingham Marine, our gold sponsor, Superior, and Marinas19 partner, the Gold Coast Waterways Authority. Please make yourself known to Hal Morris and his team during the conference. They are at the cutting edge of waterways management here on the Gold Coast, and we'll be hearing some more from Hal later. So the planning for today's event, or this week's event, commenced some 18 months ago, following on from Marine 17, and it's gratifying to have so many people and so many nations in attendance today. We want everyone fully engaged over the duration of the event, and we encourage you to use the conference app, which hopefully everybody has logged on to before you've arrived today. Your login details are listed on the back of your lanyard if you haven't already logged in. Please get involved in the polling questions. And in our next, or the first session, when we hear from Simon in a minute, we'll be looking for you to interact as early as the next speech. Please take time to meet with all the exhibitors at every opportunity. This is truly a networking function. We've got some great opportunities to network at the social events, the tea breaks, lunches, etc. Tuesday night's big gala dinner is a great opportunity to support our industry foundation. You've all heard of the Marine Industry Foundation, and Tuesday night's dinner we'll be having some silent auction and main auction items to raise funds for the good work that the foundation does for the industry. Please also note that the plenary sessions will be recorded for playback later on, and those videos will be available on the MIA website. It would be remiss of me to not use this opportunity to update you on the MIA across our three areas of focus, which we all know are the education, accreditation and research, the three main pillars. The education and training is the core of what the MIA delivers for its members, and since 2009, I'm pleased to report that course participation ratings have averaged 4.4 out of 5, and more recently are increasing. Our strategy to expand the delivery of our education into Asia and this year into New Zealand is a reflection of the need for critical mass in our relatively small boutique industry, and to be able to deliver quality training and the all-important career pathway for our industry. Globally, industry certification, the CMO, CMM and CMP continues to gain recognition, and today I'm very pleased to invite all the CMMs and CMPs to join me in front of the stage so that John White, the General Manager of Taiha, and Colin Bransgrove, our Executive Officer of the MIA, will present all the CMMs and CMPs with a new lapel badge. So if we can come out the front now, guys, we'll get that done. Thank you. So I think that's the first time we've had that many CMMs and CMPs in the room. It shows you the depth of our industry and those who have completed all their studies and are at the forefront of marina management and all the activities behind, particularly in manufacture, design and accreditation. So thank you to everybody for participating in that. So, talking education, I'm now going to move on to a very short video of our next move, which is into the online realm. So that is just some short grabs of the new online course for the Extreme Weather Preparedness course, and I can strongly advocate this course. We delivered it physically last year around the country, and going online now means you can share that with more of your staff. It means we can get to the remote locations that we weren't able to present at last year. So please embrace that. It really is an essential part of learning with the changes in the weather patterns and the more extreme weather that we're seeing so often. The MIA continues to deliver industry-led accreditation for the benefits of our members, and I'm regularly heartened to talk to new participants in our Gold Anchor and Clean Marina programs. It really is very pleasing to see how far the Clean Marina program in particular has gone over the last 15 years, and more recently the fish-friendly side of the Clean Marina program, which is increasing at a startling 17%. The Gold Anchor program that we work so closely with John White and our counterparts in the UK is now the one program worldwide, and a lot of time was put into pulling that together as two organisations had their input, and it really is going from strength to strength. We're getting 7% growth annually, and it really is pleasing to see here in the Asia Pacific region just how many of our members are focusing on that. This is our newest initiative. We all hear about the damage of single-use plastics and the impact they're having on the oceans, and the fact that microplastics now are believed to be in the food chain. I don't think we can doubt that science, and it's something we all need to react to. We and the BIA represent the marina and recreational boating industries. We are the last users of whatever goes into the oceans and the rivers. And our customers, they desire clean waterways. So it's very much in our interests, not only the fact that we eat fish that come out of the sea, but all of our customers yearn to have clean waterways, pristine marine environment to do their boating on. So we have a direct need to make sure that our rivers, lakes and oceans are kept clean. So the MIA today launches its policy for the elimination of single-use plastics in the marina industry. We're asking everybody in the room to take the pledge. You can do it online, just go to marinas.net.au, very easy to find, and take the pledge to commit to initially reduce the use of single-use plastics. And this is something that we need to talk to all of our suppliers about. And it was great yesterday in the CM meeting to talk to Andy Stevens about how suppliers like his company can address the need to reduce the use of plastics in everything that is wrapped and delivered to us in the boatyards, marinas and chandleries. So please have a look at that and get on board. I believe it is something that we will probably get 100% buy-in very quickly in from our members. We're going to hear from Dr. Ed again this year. Great to have Ed back over from the States to talk about our research. It is the best in the world, and Dr. Ed will tell you about that. But it's because of the data that you guys give into that program. So please, I'm not going to talk about it in great detail here, but it is absolutely crucial with our lobbying to government. We work very closely with the BIA and Amex super yachts, and government listens to statistics. They listen to the data about jobs growth. They listen to revenues and tax data, and that's what we gather with the HAMI and the other research that we pull together. So our industry is increasing in its turnover. We are employing more people. Certainly we're going to see stability in government now for a while, so times should be relatively good for the marine industry, in particular for the marina industry. So please, it's actually going to be coming out, the HAMI request for data, straight after this conference. So please embrace that as you have in the past. The MIA has members across 20 countries. Membership has doubled since 2008. The MIA's financial position is now sound enough so that all additional funds are put back into improving our programs and activities for members. The MIA has led the way in increased coordination with the fellow Australian bodies, BIA and Amex. The MIA has been the backbone of the Global Marina Institute that is overseeing improvements to marina education and the industry career pathway, which is so crucial to keeping people within the industry. The MIA continues to play a lead role in ICOMIA, with Darren Vo, our Vice Chairman, representing Australia on that all-important body. The MIA is a 12-person board, and I would ask that all the directors stand up just so everybody in the room can identify with you to get a chance to talk with you during the next 2 or 3 days. Unfortunately, Suzanne Davies is an apology, a last-minute apology, but you saw all the guys standing up there, very approachable, hard-working team of directors, and I certainly give my personal thanks to them. Great board and have delivered amazing achievements over the last 10 or so years. To double our membership since 2008 really is quite an achievement, something that we probably don't focus enough on, but growth is strong. So I think that wraps up my summary of the MIA. I would like to just confirm my welcome and that of the board to Marinas19. And now I'm going to introduce our first speaker, who will come up in a couple of minutes, Mr. Simon Kuestenmacher. I think I got that right, Simon. Is the Director of Research at the Demographics Group based in Melbourne. Simon is a rising star in data animation and interpretation, and in just 2 years he has amassed 100,000 followers globally who enjoy his insights and his quirky observational style. Simon holds degrees in geography from leading universities in Berlin and Melbourne, and worked for several years as a business consultant with KPMG Australia. Simon is now a contributing writer to the Australian newspaper. He is one of the 2 co-founders of the Demographics Group, and he is an emerging media commentator on demographic and data matters. Last, Simon Kuestenmacher was named one of the world's top 50 influencers in data science by Carto.com. Simon speaks on demographic trends, consumer insights and cultural change in Australia. His work is appreciated by groups from the financial services, property, government, education, technology, retail and professional service industries. But let me tell you, he is very focused on marinas currently. Just a reminder, we will be doing some live polling, and that you need to work through your app. So please make sure you've logged on, your login details are on the lanyard, and Simon is looking forward to you working with your votes so that we understand how polling is moving. Thank you very much. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone. We will take the big picture view of Australia first. We look at consumer trends in order to then understand what this actually means for the marina industry. And anything that happens in Australia over the next 10 years or so, or the next couple of decades, will happen in the context of the Asian century. The map on the left is meant to make you feel a bit seasick. This map shows the population growth in Asia, showing only cities with over 1 million residents, and it shows the population growth throughout an 80-year period. The idea here is that the new urban population in Asia, these are not slum dwellers, this is the largest emergence of a middle class in the history of mankind. And those guys, and I'll quickly stop this so nobody gets too seasick, those guys, they are very, very keen on pretty much everything that Australia has to offer, from commodities to services to recreational opportunities. And tourism from China is massively high as we speak, and it is set to triple in just 10 years' time. This is the whole tourism industry here in Australia is actually betting on China, and rightly so. There's nothing that actually speaks against these figures to be true. Another map on the right-hand side shows an 8,000-kilometer radius around Shanghai, around Beijing. These are the largest centers of the new middle class. And the 8,000-kilometer radius, this is approximately how far a direct flight can take you. So this is the most convenient travel distance. And if you look within this circle, within this 8,000-kilometer circle, the only English-speaking economy in there is Australia. This means this is why our education sector is benefiting so immensely from the Chinese population boom and the Chinese urbanization and economic boom. That said, as soon as flights will be pushing out, we will lose part of our direct advantage here. So this, we always think that trends continue on and on and on, but these things could always, of course, be mitigated a bit once this line pushes out to 10 to 12,000 kilometers, which all the new planes are actually capable already of doing. So then all of a sudden we are in more direct competition with all of Europe, especially the UK. Those direct flights will push out to New Zealand. So things are looking very, very positively, but still there might be new challenges coming ahead. So now let's actually have a look at Australia, and we'll look into the future of Australia, but in order to look into the future, we first look into the past. This chart shows the Australian population distribution as of 2009, 10 years ago. This is this kind of distribution where we see it's somewhat flat until the 60s, and then the population drops down. This is a very typical population setup for an industrialized economy. So now if we think back about what happened over the last 10 years, we see big population boom. Almost 4 million people were added over the last 10 years. And we added tons of young kids. This is why we saw this primary school building boom happening in Australia. And of course, we saw this big increase of the population in the 20s and 30s. This was driven by international students, but it was driven largely by skilled migrants coming to Australia. Those skilled migrants are wonderful because they didn't cost the country anything to educate them. They got top-notch education from wherever they came from, and then they come to Australia as top taxpayers. That's wonderful. So now it's, that's somewhat interesting. That's the past. We also see that we were aging quite a bit, but we are a rich country. We can afford to age. But what about the future? And that's the more interesting question. What will the next 10 years bring? What are actually the next 10 biggest the big growth groups over the next 10 years? And this is where the app comes in. This is where we'll actually switch to the app. So I've been told if you go to your app, you magically see the polling question pop up somehow. And do we see this on the screen? Yeah. So the idea is to guess which of the 10-year age groups is the largest population group, and I'll just have you venture a guess to see what the future might bring. And of course, this also translates directly into age groups that you as an industry are interested in targeting. You always want to have your finger on the pulse and kind of understand where growth opportunities are occurring. So, the first option is it actually the young kids that are driving population growth, the under 10-year-olds? Or is it people in their 20s, big migrant groups, big skilled migrant groups really pushing into the country? Or is it middle-aged people in their 40s that will drive population growth? Or is there something to the whole storyline about the aging population, this big boom in old age? Is it our 80-year-olds or 80 to 89-year-olds that will drive population growth? And I like the Mission Impossible countdown that you have. You have another, 10 seconds to give in the vote, and we'll see what you guys actually think in. Oh, so cut the wire, Tom Cruise. That's very exciting. So, the good one is 34% actually guessed the right answer. The population growth that will be driving. So I might have switched a couple of slides, is that right? Yeah. So the group that will be driving population growth over the next 10 years is indeed the 40-year-olds. This is the aging of this big millennial, of this Gen Y group. This was a big boom, the kids of the baby boomers. It is now pushing 10 years into the future. And of course there's a bit of migration popping in there, but the real interesting part here is the single year of age that is growing the fastest are 42-year-olds. 42 is a magical age in Australia, because never ever do you spend more money than when you're 42 years of age. You already are at a nice point in your career where you walked up a couple of steps in the corporate ladder that will be driving the next 10 years. So how can you engage with these young parents in their 40s, with the Generation Y that does have kids all of a sudden? And of course they are older parents because childbirth is being pushed out more and more. And then 40-year-olds actually have fairly young kids. And because they're already further up in their life, maybe they're a bit more risk averse than parents were 10 years, 20 years ago. So these are things to keep in mind when moving forward. But all this population growth, where are they actually moving to within Australia? And this chart here shows the top 5 largest cities in Australia, and we just show the number of people that were added in each year. And we see this, we go back to 2001. And in 2001, we don't care so much about the cities. I want to point you to the numbers on the bottom. In 2001, 36% of all new population growth in Australia happened in just Melbourne City. And if you look at just the top 5 cities, 2/3 of all new population growth happened in the big 5 cities. Our population seems to be concentrating in just a few cities. That's nice, but that's a long time ago. So now let's go through this and see what happened in 2006. 40% Melbourne City, 71% in the big 5. 2013, 78% of all new growth in just 5 cities. 80%, 78%. So what this shows us is that population growth is really concentrating in just a few cities. We don't see this in any other country in this extreme way. We are a huge country with 25 million people, but population growth is concentrating in just a few cities, and that is largely because we're shifting towards knowledge work. What that means is that knowledge work jobs, they like to cluster, and we only really create jobs in 5 big CBDs, in 5 big city centers. And this is where all the population goes, because jobs always come first. You first know where you work, where your job is, and then you move somewhat close to your job, probably as close as you can possibly afford. Sorry, skip here. But so that's interesting. So we kind of know where people live, where people move to. But now let's recap understand how a general Australian life might work. Life was simple in the 30s. You were a kid, and at some stage, all of a sudden, you became an adult. You followed your dad into the mines, and you kind of knew what kind of job you had. You had the same job for many years. You worked really, really hard. In fact, you worked until your back gave in, until you reached old age all of a sudden. And then finally, at 65, you were allowed to retire. Sadly enough, you died 2 years before that. Then we move on. We move on 40 years into the 70s. The coming of age of the baby boomers in the 70s brought us a whole new stage of the life cycle. And these are the teenage years, the wonderful teenage years, sex, drugs, and rock and roll due to the baby boomers. But then again, baby boomers had to grow up as well and got a job and worked really hard for many years until they gave in. And at some stage, they actually got to enjoy their retirement. Retired at 65, die a couple of years later. From a national perspective, financing 8 years of retirement, that's very easy. That's not a big challenge. You can manage this. It becomes more and more difficult to finance retirement if you live longer. And this is what is, of course, happening now. And if you look at the Australian life today, first of all, we see, there are many, many more life stages. And the first obvious addition is this weird phase, it's called adolescence. It starts when you're 14 and it ends in your mid-30s. And that's, of course, simply due to millennials, Gen Y, pushing back everything. You push back first childbirth. You push back the purchase of your first home, marriage. Everything is being pushed back. All those things still occur, but they happen with a delay. And so, really, my favorite definition of being an adult is you only become an adult when you take responsibility for somebody other than yourself. And if you think about this, as long as you don't have kids, if you're not in the military, you're just by yourself. You're only responsible for yourself. So why do you need to grow up? You can be in a more uncommitted, easygoing phase. And think about this. If you have more and more young people operating in this phase, what does this mean for your industry? How likely are you in this uncommitted phase where you switch jobs, where you move cities? How likely are you to buy a boat? How likely are you to buy some sort of into some sort of like prolonged membership? This is a generation of instant gratification. You want to satisfy this kind of need of just immediate, easygoing, fun things. It's a whole different game of targeting the adolescence population now than it was teenage or young adults a couple of years ago. Of course, millennials still grow up at some stage, become adults, and move on. And these days, if you play your cards right, more and more people get to move into the lifestyle phase. And that's a wonderful phase. This is really, you have all your ducks in order, you're financially secure enough, and you decide how much you work. You go down from 5 days to 4 days. Maybe you spend a whole big holiday in the middle of the year when it's relatively cold in Australia and go to Europe. Travel up north to Queensland. Whatever you do, this changes. And so you can have more and more people who actually had a successful career and who enter the lifestyle phase. So targeting those guys is very, very attractive for the marina industries because they have money to spend and they got time to spend. And it's very, very seldom that you find a group that has both money and time to spend. Then, of course, you still retire and you still grow old. But all of a sudden, and this is a big issue for Australia as a nation, if you have to finance 18 years of retirement, that is actually becoming increasingly difficult, especially if you don't own your own home and you have constant rental expenses as well. This is becoming a bigger challenge. So then you've got to think about if you have more and more people who are challenged by this phase, how can you actually provide cheaper entertainment options for this kind of population? So let's go back to actually thinking about who makes up Australia. And Australia is a big migrant nation. We have almost they're dying out, so to speak. They came here as 10-pound poms, and then the Kiwis really just use Australia as an extension of their own little island. When their economy is doing poorly and Australia is doing well, they move over. If it's the other way around, they go back. It's a beautiful wave between New Zealand and Australia, and that will continue to go on. But what we already see is we see China, India, the Philippines, Vietnam. We see all those Asian nations merge. And let's actually see at the growth figures. That's fun. That's just growth over a 5-year period. That's not terribly long. And we see 60% increase in the Chinese population, 54% increase in the Indian population. That, of course, raises the question, if we have more and more population from these countries, how do you as an industry reach those people? Also, if you see that the European nations, the Germans, the Italians, the Greeks don't even make the cut anymore. Yeah? They're dying out, so to speak. And how do you reach the new Australians, the new citizens that come from, that were born in different countries? That's a big challenge. Maybe they're not maritime nations. How do you reach them? It's a whole different challenge. Also, the way that we just create our living arrangements changed massively. So this is a 50-year time frame that we're showing here, and we see that if you look at the top line figures, the traditional family, that's your mom, dad, and the kids kind of family, what you think of when you think family. That's what you still think of. And it will remain the largest family unit, household unit, if you will, even a couple of years into the future in 2036. But we see that the growth is actually slowing down. Less and less people, relatively speaking, are living in families. And you have big population increases in single-family households. How do you reach more and more single populations? Are you a classic Marina customer if you're single? These are largely older populations, or older people, and also big growth group in the single household groups are highly educated, financially and economically successful single women. These are women who can't find a man that fits their standards. And that actually makes sense, because back in the day, when women were locked out of the workforce, the only way that you could actually improve your lot in life was to marry up, was to marry a guy who has a better education, who has more income than you. So that worked back in the day. But now you're in a situation where women outperform men in primary, secondary, and tertiary education, and are entering more and more, not at any kind of equal level, but more and more entering into the high-paying professions, occupations, industries. So that means that the very top of the lot of the professional women actually have a very, very small pool to choose from. And so they stay single. And this is, of course, a very lucrative population to market to, because these women are single and they got cash to spend. So think about if you can, in some sort of way, reach out to this group. Of course, you have one-parent families, big increase there in just single parents with their kids. And these are traditionally families that don't have too much money to throw around. So how can you actually target this audience that wants entertainment, that wants to do fun stuff, that wants to be connected to the land, to the water, but who can't probably afford big expenses up front, especially, like a big boat or big annual subscription. And all these changes are interwoven into the way that while we grow our population, we completely shift the way that our economy operates. So we are absolutely fantastic. We are a job-creating machine, which is why we have a skilled migration program, because our economy demands these kind of jobs. And what kind of jobs are we demanding? We're demanding jobs in healthcare, social assistance. That's because we are a rich country that is aging. So we can actually afford to provide healthcare and general social assistance for people. So this is why this is growing. But then all of a sudden you see professional services, education, public admin. These are knowledge work jobs. The Australian workforce is massively shifting from manufacturing, from industry-type jobs to knowledge work. This is the big shift, and it's speeding up. So you have more and more highly specialized workers, and of course those highly specialized workers, this is the new client pool, the customer pool. Those guys are specialized in their skills, maybe not so skilled with their hands. How do you connect with those people? How do you connect with people that are not just happy to get their hands dirty as a hobby? How do you introduce them to maritime spare time activities? Again, big population shifts that are happening. And the largest and scariest chart in this presentation is this one. If you remember that census night 2016, you filled out in the census form whatever you thought your job was. You wrote it down, and the people at the ADS put your job into one of 1,300 categories. That's the number of jobs that officially exist. And each of those 1,300 jobs gets a skill level assigned. A skill level means how much training do you need before you are allowed to do a certain job. These people as doctors, midwives, finance managers, they need an awful ton of training before they're allowed to cut you open. Bankers are not allowed to cut you open, but tons of training needed. Then police officers, a bit less training. Skill level 3, that's the traditional construction work, manufacturing work, that's the traditional backbone of the Australian workforce, of the Australian society. This is your middle skilled work. That's skill level 3. And then you go to low skilled work and unskilled work. Unskilled work is work where you learn on the job, where you don't need a formal education to actually get this kind of work. That's interesting. So now let's have a look at the distribution across the population. If this was perfectly evenly distributed, 20% would go to each of those groups. And so we see we're fairly top-heavy. I'm talking about knowledge economy, that makes sense, 28% in the highest field. We see police officers and chefs, those high-skilled jobs, at 12%. We still see a fairly strong middle class, working middle class, middle skilled at 15%, and then we get very heavy towards the low skilled labor. That only tells us so much. The real interesting observation here is what are the jobs that we added over the last 5 years? Just the net new jobs that were created between the last 2 censuses. Half of all the new jobs that we created are highly skilled. This is why we run the skilled migration scheme, because there's no way that we could actually fill all those jobs that we have in Australia with the Australian population. We must import labor. But the scary number here that is hiding in plain sight is skill level 3. This skill level 3 did not grow. We don't create these kind of jobs. And the thing that keeps us afloat, this skill level 3, that keeps it from actually plummeting down and actually just shrinking, is population growth. Construction. Construction is the one big growth group in this skill level 3 sector. Construction actually keeps the Australian middle class alive. If we were to shrink migration, if we were to stop it, if we were to cut it by 30,000 people as was proposed by the Liberal Party, the rich people, the highly educated people won't suffer. Not even the uneducated people will suffer. The sector that will suffer the most are the middle-skilled, traditional backbone of the Australian society. And that's a bit of a counterintuitive thing to understand, but really we locked ourselves into a situation where we need population growth to keep the middle class happy, even though they might perceive it in a very different way and think that life might be better if migration was to stop. how long you're in your job, we pretty much end up with just over $40,000 a year. That's not much. Especially if you live in a big city, that doesn't get you far. And how much can you get out of those people? How can you provide services to those people? That's difficult. So please tell your kids to stay in school for another year because that pays another $5,000 per year. Even better, get a trade certificate. A trade certificate adds another an additional $10,000 in your pocket. But university degrees, that seems to be a thing that really pays out. And the answer is absolutely. Bachelor degrees pay, they pay big time. So we slowly create a society of winners and losers. The more educated you are, the better off you are. But what about those weird post-grad degrees? Are they good for anything? And the answer is absolutely. They really pay off big time, but only in your mid or late 30s. Because if you enter into an early career, people don't really care what kind of education you have. But once you move to the second, third round of promotions, all of a sudden degrees really become important. And then education pays big time. So if you have an unmotivated teenager at home who doesn't really take to school too enthusiastically, please take a photo of this chart and send it to them and tell them that the German guy told you to actually force them to motivate them with this chart. This is actually crucial to understand how your future career, your future life will be like. It really depends ridiculously on your education. And as a society, we will struggle to ensure that the lower jobs actually get a fair income. This gets even more real when you look at this in a particular job. Let's say you're a taxi driver. If you're a taxi driver, well, first of all, you don't earn any money if you're 15 because you don't have a license. That's just fair enough. But then, whether you have 1 year of driving experience or 50, you earn the same amount of money. So that means if you are in one of those gig economy jobs where you're paid by the kilometers, where you're paid by the unit, the only way to make more money is to work yourself to death. And we're creating more and more jobs like this. We're locking more and more Australians with the gig economy into these kind of jobs. And these guys don't have much spare time because if the cost of living is rising, as it is, they have to work themselves to death. So you're locked into this very vicious and unrelaxed cycle. So there are, of course, other jobs like secretaries that earn more money, so that's good. But there are also jobs that plateau rather quickly. There is a bit of a progression. So you first earn a bit more money, that's good, but then you plateau with your income. It's better to get a job that is very predictable. So I said vocational ed teachers I put in here. That's nice, and lots of government jobs look like this. You know pretty exactly, if you work for government, for example, how much money you will make in 10 years. Because it says seniority is factored into your pay, so it slowly increases. But of course, there are tons of jobs that you really want out there, and these are I call them the rocket jobs. This is where you have an income profile like barristers, and it's barristers, not baristas, where you earn more every year. And lots of jobs in the IT sector, lots of jobs in the knowledge economy have a profile like this. So you really want to position yourself in a job like this, in a career like this. And if you target one particular group, those guys got plenty of cash to spare. So rebranded themselves. They're now called personal assistants, they're called office managers. They carry significantly more responsibility within your firms, and they earn more money. And this is just the kind of example that we don't factor in when we think about population growth and when we think about the change in the workforce, that the workforce is actually very, very flexible. And we do take to changes, and we change our ways. So don't be scared of this. Artificial intelligence won't do that either. So everybody's a winner, is this chart. This chart, it shows the increase of income by gender over time, over the last 5 years of the census. So you see, everybody earned more money, especially women, but women's wages grew at a faster pace, which means we're actually closing the pay gap. That's good news. So everybody has more money to spare, sort of. If you remember Economics 101, there's this thing called the inflation rate. That was 10%. So we actually see that the young ones, they actually didn't earn more. Their money actually stagnated, their income. So this slowly points to these intergenerational conflicts. This is why these smashed avocado housing prices actually emerged, why there is a sentiment for this. It's because people have an intuitive feeling that this might be right. But overall, we see that people do have more money to spend. But it's the idea of who can you target. And again, especially those guys in the 40s, the guys who like to throw money out all the time, they earn more money. But what are we spending our money for? We're spending our money, and this is just retail spend. We're spending our money, look at the top growth sectors. Cafes, takeaway food, liquor. We are a lifestyle people. So if you can tap into the perception of working, of living as a lifestyle, marinas are part of the lifestyle. You eat out, you spend fun time. This is the kind of thing that where the market is moving. It's very, I always say, you need to be Instagrammable in order to actually attract the young people, but this is where the retail spend is going. This chart shows GDP growth, quarter by quarter. If you have 2 quarters with negative GDP growth, we call this a recession. And the last recession, of course, is almost 30 years ago. Australia is now very much used to growth. You could say we have a culture of aspiration. We expect lots of good things to happen, but it also means that we are used to getting things now. This is, again, another reason for this instant gratification that we're pushing for as a people. Quick run through the political landscape. We're counting prime ministers per decade. 2, 3, 2, 6. And I already prepared a slide with Hogan. I had to take this off. But this slide shows a larger truth, and we'll go to this one now, about political satisfaction. Because we see here, this chart shows since federation, the vote for the third parties. So we just combine all the small parties, meaning everybody, then Labour or the Liberals, and we add their votes together. And we've seen since the 1980s, every year, the vote for the third parties is going up. We are unsatisfied as a people with the 2 biggest parties. You know, we tell the narrative of, this fantastic liberal, sensational turnaround story. This is actually a liberal party that lost votes between this and the last election. We miss the main picture here, is that people move away from the left-right political spectrum. We have independent candidates that are more and more pushing for local, hyper-localized issues that are actually not sitting on the political spectrum at all. So the last slide here actually just moves us into the future for 10 years, and we think about what Australia will look like in 10 years' time. In 10 years' time, we call them the pre-boomers generation, the generation that was before the World War, Second World War, and they're very much in the dying phase of the life cycle. They won't manage any companies, they won't sit on boards anymore, and this is old age part of the country. Still as well, and maybe they can be targeted. But the real interesting factor of the last 10 years is that all baby boomers are officially of retirement age. It doesn't mean that they're all retired. Some of them will still always called the forgotten generation because they are sandwiched between the two big baby boomer and millennial generations. And so when we talk about generations, we often skip them, which is a shame because in 10 years' time, essentially all the big roles will be held by Gen X. Gen X will be smack in the middle of the prime minister age group, 54, you become prime minister, at 52 become CEO. So these two jobs in Australia fall largely to Gen X. But of course you have to engage with Gen Y, which is the largest population group, and they'll make up a lion's share of the population of the workforce. So managing Gen Y, understanding their purpose-driven worldview. So this is where you sell your marinas as being, as really fighting for environment, as really being the first point of contact when you want to clean up the oceans. I've seen the sea bin stall outside. That's the kind of stuff that is really interesting to Gen Y, where you want to feel that you are fighting for the good cause. That's important. So really target this to actually get Gen Y on board. Gen Z, this is of course the next generation. We know that they will be very globally minded. This is the first generation that grew up on the internet, where global issues come first. They think global issues first, local bike path second. Target global issues to get Gen Z. You see how this goes. Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. We run out of letters in the alphabet, so we switch alphabets. Gen Alpha. It's unfair to say anything about Gen Alpha just yet because they've been born last year. So to quickly sum up, big institutions are going to be viewed critically. We've seen this with the politics slide. We could have done just the same with union membership down, Royal Commission into banking, the Catholic Church. All those things are on the way down. Big institutions are seen critically. Sell yourself as a local institution with a global issue in mind, and you win. That's very important over the next 10 years. Easy picture of our population growth in Australia is the pie is growing. Everything grows. Every market segment is growing. That's good. But the pie is changing the ingredients. We are becoming more and more diverse. So be aware that you actually do need to target different groups in order to benefit from the population growth that is happening. And of course, the cautious note at the end is that we do risk of becoming a more divided society by creating more and more highly paid jobs that will have no problem financing any kind of spare time activity that they feel like, and more jobs on the bottom that are also poorly paid, that will probably not be able to afford too many fun time, spare time activities. But that said, marinas could actually function as social infrastructure, as a meeting point, where we provide enough opportunities for low-income earners to also become part of the maritime industry in some sort of way, of actually integrating them into the spare time activities. So I think this is the bigger calling for the marina industry, is to actually benefit the whole of Australia there. So thank you very much for your time. I'm on all of them social medias, so please feel free to connect, especially on Twitter and LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon. That really was very insightful, and it's a great way to start the conference to see where our future market lies. Some great insights there, and a few challenges for us, but where there are challenges, there are opportunities. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. I would now like to call John Hogan up to stage. John is our chairman of the Global Marina Institute, and he'd like to make some presentations to some new certified managers. But also John is the MD at Superior Marinas, and he is our sponsor for the tea break that we've got coming up shortly. So thank you, John. The stage is yours.
Vijay is just rescuing me by getting the certificates. So while we wait, gives us great pleasure to be able to sponsor the morning tea this morning. You might have noticed on the way in, I'll do the blatant plug, the equipment outside in the car park. I know it destroyed your car parking opportunities, but it'll all be gone after Smoko. The pontoon you see out there is our new Super Elite version, and we will be installing that on Wednesday at the Boatworks, so you can see both ends of it. Enough of that. This is one of the passions of my life. I love seeing people better themselves in the industry, and we have many people that contribute their own time personally to make all of this happen. So first of all, we have two marina managers, certified, and one certified marina professional. So if you could come up and just stick around, we'll like to take a photo with the three of you. First of all, Gareth Wilson, certified marina manager. Second one, certified marina manager, who does a fantastic job at Denarau, Cynthia Rash. And last but not least, to show how international we are these days, from points north, from Papua New Guinea, certified marina professional, Aaron Batts. So that's it for the formalities. So enjoy Smoko. If you're having trouble working your app, they can help you at the front desk to show you how to get that on your phone. Thanks very much. See you soon.